that has a decent year, now that the rules change, would be crazy not to test the waters.
Because you have unlimited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why would he not test the waters? It would be for him. I mean, it would be very irresponsible to not go and work out.
And it's like, why are we even using the phrase "test the waters" anymore? Because it's like the water's lukewarm because you don't lose anything unless you don't tell your coach that you're going to want to come back.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought Jordan's comments yesterday were very mature.
Do you have those comments? Did you print them at all?
I can pull them up.
Yeah, because here I want people. Here's the thing, because the conversation is going to be had. Is Jordan really gone? You know, we can have the conversation about which draft stock he would listen to. Do his comments make you lean one way or the other? Do you have them right there?
Yeah, Jordan said, the ability to test the waters without losing eligibility seems like the perfect opportunity for me to try out with NBA teams and get feedback from them directly regarding my strengths and weaknesses. If the feedback is positive, I will stay in the draft. If the feedback indicates I should return to school for continued development, that's what I'll do. Either way, it's a positive experience that will allow me to find out what specifically NBA teams want me to improve on to enhance my draft stock, whether it's for this draft or next year's draft. That's a pretty. I mean that.
What you describe to people what that statement says to you?
I mean, to me, well, and real quick, let me give you Mac's statement just to add a little bit to it. He says the NBA and the NCAA continue to shape the undergraduate process of determining draft prospects in a more refined way. I fully support Jordan as he tests the NBA draft waters on where he stands in his basketball future. When the time comes to make his decision, it will be with feedback straight from a source from the NBA. I mean, that's about the perfect answer on both accounts.
Yep. And I do enjoy the coach that removes himself from the process.
Yeah. Hey, let them tell you.
The medical process and the draft process.
Because how many times around here did Rick get ripped for, well, he talked that kid in the stand.
Yep.
Kid should have never stayed.
And that was like Rick's opinion on if the kid's ready. You know, like telling a kid that you think he's not ready is not convincing him to stay.
Right.
In my opinion, I don't think you're ready.
I think that Mac is doing it perfect. Hey, go talk to the NBA. Go work out with them. Listen to them. If when I get the feedback, and I'm sure Mac will get the feedback also, when I get the feedback and if I look at it as a coach and 30 teams say or whatever say probably not ready. Okay. You know what my opinion is? You're probably not ready. Okay. Well, that was easy.
So we got to have this conversation. By the way, people, my border looks good on the YouTube channel.
Oh, I know.
Do yourself a favor.
Enhancing that. I was able to gain a lot of appreciation for the YouTube channel yesterday.
Fire that one out real quick.
I was at home yesterday with the baby, and
Brian,
I was able to watch the YouTube just as I think one of us needed to do that. Because then it allowed us to sit back and say, okay, well, this is what I think we can improve on with it, and throw some ideas.
Your viewing experience needed critique. I think
it's pretty.
And even myself, I would kind of look at it and say, because sometimes I'll go back and watch a little bit of the old episodes, because I try to be mindful that we are on camera to make it better. So, but yeah, no, it was very cool, and I gained a real appreciation for that, because people that do enjoy that, I now understand why. I mean, it was awesome. It was a TV show, so now we're going to kind of pretty that up a little bit. We're going to try to add some things, some video clips and commercials, this over the next couple months, and we're going to be working on some things. Marcus, in here today, I looked. If you haven't saw today, go to the YouTube channel. We are made for the Ville.
We'll tighten it up a bit.
The border looks good. You've done a good job. Like that. The YouTube channel is Marcus's baby. I have to admit, I'm just the looks on the camera, but you put it together really well, and the reason I had to publicly admit that to you was because when we started doing the YouTube stuff, I was kind of like, why are you so meticulous with this? Just put the camera up, play it, and if people want to watch it, cool. And I do get a little more of an appreciation
and there will
for
be
it.
sponsorship opportunities
Absolutely
coming on the YouTube channel
Absolutely.
as well. But there's one other thing I wanted to add before we moved on, but since the phone lines are already blowing up, it's still going to be Big Jordan Ward.
That was perfect.
Darn it, Steve.
It was
Stop
perfect.
spilling stuff.
But it was perfect. Look at this.
Pretty. Thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. What's going on?
What's up, boys? Can you hear me good?
Absolutely.
Got you.
All right. Hey, the pot's been stirred, so I'm going to start throwing in some good.
Go ahead.
All right. So y'all got to tell me, honestly, straight up, do you really think War is coming back?
By the way you asked that question, it sounds like you don't. Was that question rhetorical?
It's a rhetorical question.
I think there's a shot. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think there's a shot.
Okay. When I don't know the answer to this. This is straight up. This one's not rhetorical. When's the last time that Louisville has brought back a player as good or better than Wara? That was 50-50, who was, quote-unquote, testing the waters.
Montrez?
Trez?
Yeah.
Anawak?
I think Trez.
No, Anawak.
No.
Anawaku?
Yeah, no, he left.
Anawaku left, did he
Yeah,
not?
yeah. No, he left.
No,
He
Anawaku left.
I was just thinking of people.
Yeah, I would say Trez probably.
So just Trez.
I mean, Russ.
Russ.
Russ ain't in the NBA.
No, but I mean, Russ was a potential first-round pick after
His
we won
junior
the
year.
championship. Yeah, he'd come back.
So it's beneficial if he goes, is what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to ask you what you think
Yeah,
on this one.
This is your call. I mean, we're reading. Put it this way: we're reading Jordan Warren's name right now on ESPN ticker.
No. I think it's a good call. I think he should go. Here's where I'm at. The man is long. All right. He's got good height. He's not slender. He's thick, but he's athletic. He can get up. He can jump. He can move around. He can make jump shots. He can get to the basket. I think his only glaring weakness is the man can't handle the ball that well, and that can be taught. That's something that an NBA coach can get you going. And I mean, I think he would be stupid to come back.
Why's
I don't
that?
know about Lawrence. Well, I think he might compete for time a little bit more this coming season with the guys we got coming in. Now, I'm not saying he's going to decide to go and declare for the NBA and hire an agent because Daniel Williams is coming in. I wouldn't say that, no.
Right.
But I would say that right now, the getting is good. And, no, I don't think we're going to get hit with any more sanctions, nothing like that. I'm just saying I think his draft stock is good right now. I don't know how much he can improve it. He's an athletic dude. He's got one thing he needs to work on real bad. That's handling the ball. I mean, I'm sure you guys got other takes on that. But
Yeah.
But I think he should go. And I don't know. I'm just of the opinion that when you got a guy, and Louisville's seen it, like a Dang Adele type dude. Like, I thought Dang should have come back more than I think Warren should come back. And I don't know. That's just where I'm at. But I hope he comes back. I'm being pessimistic. I don't think he will.
That's fair.
Look,
That's fair.
I appreciate the call.
I thought he was pretty fair with the call.
Listen,
Yeah.
I got to be honest. He was a fan of the program who didn't know what to think of this and had 10 opinions jammed together.
Yeah.
I recognize that. He's good. He should come back, but he should go. Actually, that's exactly how this conversation today is probably going to go. Because here's the thing, and this was a thought I was kind of the road I was going down, and jump in it whenever you feel the need to stop me, Steve. When we're talking about should he or shouldn't he, and the conversation that is Jordan Wara. 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. We Are Made for the Ville is the YouTube channel. And I read the text. The people who are subscribing, you're going to enjoy that. I guarantee it. So here's the thing. We can talk about every aspect of the Jordan Wara conversation. You called it out yesterday. Everybody's playing basketball right now. all the big-time potential draft picks,
Yeah.
most of them are playing basketball right now.
Right.
Or just lost last night. Right now, Jordan Warren's name has been on the ticker since yesterday.
Yeah.
Putting it out.
Yeah.
No, that's a definite 1 check mark to 1.5 check marks.
Whether he goes or comes back.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. Maybe a week from now, when you hear the next wave of people that are declaring, right, then maybe Jordan says, or his name becomes a little less relevant to some of the, it's good to be the first, to get the attention of the first, but when this big wave of all these names comes out, then you're going to be like, in 2 weeks, you're going to say, you're going to be able to name 55 forwards with highlight reels, with good first and second team resumes out of every conference. Then you're going to start looking at your little chart of the top forwards that just declared. Then you're going to realize there's 55 talented forwards that just declared, right? And then you're going to hear that some guy from Cisco Moscow or 2 guys from Coach Pitino's team out in Greece. Now it's going to be 10 to 15 different guys from overseas in that draft, and they're going to be like, "My God,
I know.
This list is getting crazy." So, what I'm telling you, I'm not leaning you one way or the other, persuading you one way. I'm just pointing out kind of the process and what it's going to be like, psychologically for the Louisville fan as well.
Yeah,
and then you're going to say Louisville's going to be in the limbo of, man, next year if we got Darius and Jordan at this spot, and then Samuel Woods and Aiden along with Malik, and then you're going to say, but I don't know, because maybe Jordan doesn't come back. So it's difficult to move forward when you're going to have the limbo of a Jordan Nwora.
Yeah.
I'm sure Stephen Enoch is going to at least put it out there.
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yep.
Be with his age.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if he didn't at least throw it out there.
I don't say because of his age. I say because of his skill set and because of just his presence and the commentary he gets from national media is enough, in my opinion, to make him talk about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like I said, I'd be surprised if that didn't come out eventually.
And he'd be a workout warrior.
Yeah. I mean,
think about it. Scal LaBCA sat in the corner and went 18 for 20 from the three-point line, and that was enough to put him in the league.
Yeah.
They said we can work with everything else. He has a 41-inch vertical, and he went 18 for 20 from the corner.
Yeah.
Stephen Enoch scares me as far as being able to just, no matter what, you go 18 for 20 from the three-point line in the corner and show him what your vertical is, you might have a shot.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, I think that next year's team, I think we're in a good spot. I think we're better, obviously, if those guys are back.
Yeah.
I don't think we're crippled if they're not back.
Right.
By any, I mean, I think you're a top 25 team with or without them. I think you're a top 10,
I don't know.
8 team with them.
I don't know. You're not. I don't think you're top 25 if you lose both of them.
See, I totally disagree because I think next year, I think college basketball is taking a massive step back.
I'll have that argument with you with the landscape.
Yeah.
But as far as just this team, and my imagination about what college usually turns into, a lot of times you come into these drafts and they say this is a bad draft, and then you find out there were some awesome players.
Oh, yeah.
It just wasn't top heavy with the Zions and the thing.
Sure.
But I would have the top 25 conversation. But Jordan and Steven.
Well, they make you, I think they make you a top 8 team. Like they make you you bring those guys back and you're immediately, I think, a contender to win it next year.
The tournament is scarring me.
Well, yeah. But
boy, listen.
I know.
They're playing some intense basketball.
Yeah, but they have intense players, which we'll have next year.
We'll have intense freshmen.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
How many of those are you watching right now?
I'd see grown men out there. Kurt, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Okay, sure thing. Hey, guys, first of all, we all know that the NBA draft's on potential, and I believe majority of the draft is on potential.
Right.
With that said, I think Enoch is going because of his age. I listened to his interview. The guy's very charismatic and bright, so I think it would benefit him to go ahead and go because he's older. Jordan Nwora, I think this whole year, Jordan Nwora played in a selfish way to me to improve his stock.
Wait. Is it selfish or scorer's mentality?
I think it's selfish. scorer's mentality. A lot of times you take good shots and also you take some bad shots.
Wait, give me a guy who has a scorer's mentality, and give me a guy that's selfish. Okay, if you say Jordan is selfish, now give me the score mentality guy.
The score mentality guy to me is Russ Smith. Russ Smith has a scoring mentality, but Russ Smith would pass the ball because Russ Smith felt like nobody could guard him. You could be two people be on his still take. North couldn't do that. Jordan North couldn't do that. He tried to take 1-on-2, and he either lose the ball, fall down, or something. So, but to me, Jordan Norwood played a lot for his stock this year. I saw a lot of selfish plays from him, so I knew he was gone. It wasn't a surprise to me. So if he goes and make it, good for him. If he comes back, he can just get better, of course, with his ball handling and passing and learn, I think, to be a team player. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a guy that can score like that. But golly, you know this, Marcus and Steve, that there were a lot of times, a lot of situations where, man, that was selfish, show off, trying to improve my style of basketball. And I hate that, That's just my opinion on you, man, and I'll hang up and let you guys comment. Bye.
No, Kurt, listen, I appreciate the call. I hear you, and I know the fine line between scorer's mentality and selfish, and I know how easily one gets mistaken for the other every time, we kind of have this conversation. What do you think about what he's?
I don't think Jordan plays selfish.
Yeah, and when you compare it to Russ Smith, listen. Russ Smith was better at taking on and breaking a double team.
Russ Smith was one of the, and I'll be fair, was one of the 5 best scorers we've ever had here, like ever. And I don't like that comparison between Jordan and Russ.
Yeah, just maybe because the skill sets are so different.
Yeah, and I mean they're different players. I mean, but Jordan also, Jordan to get you 10 rebounds a game. Jordan didn't play in a selfish manner to me. I think you a selfish.
Actually, I was telling you, we're going to miss Jordan's rebounding more than anything.
We're going to have, because we're going to have guys that can put the ball in the hole next year.
Yep.
His scoring will be replaced next year. Down the stretch, Jordan wasn't filling it up.
Right.
He was continuing to get 8-9 rebounds.
His shots. While his shots were flair for the dramatic, the we're down 6.
Yeah.
Cuts it to 3.
And you may miss that. I'm pointing at my head for mentality. You may miss that a little bit.
The YouTube channel saw you.
Yeah, I know. But you'll score. Next year with the guys, David Johnson can score the ball. Nickelberry, do you know there's 2 guys in the history of North Carolina basketball, high school basketball, that scored more points than Josh Nickelberry, and one of them's name is not Michael Jordan?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but Michael Jordan got cut when he
got cut from his high school team as a freshman.
Did you know that?
Never heard that story.
Jeez.
I didn't get cut. Must be better than Michael Jordan.
You didn't know that,
Steve. But you're talking like Kobe White and James Curry are the only people to ever score in all the history of high school basketball. Nickelberry can put the ball in the hole.
Right.
You've got guys that can put the ball in the hole. We know what Sam can do.
Is this going to turn into another referendum on guys leaving early, guys testing the water, scholarships being available and not being available?
No.
This one is just a...
No, it's fair. He's got to make a decision by May 29th. You're not putting anybody in a bind. It gives him 2 months to make a decision. No, it's fair. It's fair. Like, I'm sorry, you Mac. If you, I say Mac, I'm not really jumping on Mac, but I'm using Mac because it's this situation. But any college coach, if you're in January or February and you don't kind of have a hint that that guy's probably going to try to go and that guy's going to try to go, then that's your problem.
You're not communicating with your players
that's
enough.
Your fault. So I'm sure Mac has been or is starting to look at potential replacements if he goes, and if he doesn't go, cool. We want him back.
Seattle Paul, thanks for joining us on Morning with Marcus Maven. What's on your mind, my man?
Hey, did you guys see last night that Virginia-Oregon game?
I did.
Crazy to see somebody named King dropping 16 points against Virginia in the Young Center.
He did. He did.
Or it was brutal.
He did. That's fair.
Yeah, I wish a different King would drop 16 points against Virginia in the Young Center.
I know.
We'll see how it goes.
Let me ask you this, Paul. Did it really look like the Yum Center? Be honest. Other than that little cardinal in the corner, that didn't look like the Yum Center at all, did it?
No, it didn't. But I've just got to make jokes about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see somebody named King coming in.
How do we get through this next couple weeks without joking? Like, come on, Marcus. Like, dude, this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But to Jordan's point, going back to Jordan, I mean, I'm looking at some of the draft board, and now the fact that they got Jordan as, I think, number 24 on NBADraft.net.
That's the worst mock draft, though, I will say. Yeah, they're terrible.
And they got P.J. Washington in the second round in that one. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think those guys know what they're talking about.
No, that's the worst. That you almost, if you want a serious analysis of NBA, you almost got to pay and get ESPN to get the Draft Express guy. Like,
well, ESPN has a mock draft for free, and they don't even have Jordan as the top 25 small forward.
I know.
On there.
I know.
See,
so I mean, I hope he doesn't iron AJ.
No, I don't think he will.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the call.
Appreciate it, my man.
First of all, I agree. When you start seeing how many guys in one position are ranked ahead of you, like that, I'm telling you, man, a draft. How many total in a draft?
What in the NBA draft? Yeah. What is it? 60 or is it 64? I can't. 30 teams in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
I always get the NFL. The NFL's 32.
Okay, let's say 60.
60 picks in the NBA draft. Yeah.
Man. And only guaranteed money. Like now, here's the thing. You're sentenced.
Yeah.
You're sentenced to I love YouTube channel. You're sentenced to purgatory if you get drafted anywhere behind 32. You're going to be fighting back and forth out in that the more athletes that are going into this G League, the worse it's going to be for guys who jump early.
Yeah.
Cuz that G League is getting more and more talented. Grown men are in the G League, and the names in the G League are getting crazier and crazier. All those North Carolina players that give us good numbers year after year, they're starting to fill up that G League.
I know.
Now it's becoming even more crucial to, unless you're in that top 19, you know what I'm saying, on pretty much every draft board, you got to be careful. Like it's getting to a scary point. Cody, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, some of these callers are making Enoch sound like he's just this old man, like he's a coy guy his age. The dude literally just turned 21 back in September. Like he's still a pretty young dude. Like he's barely older than I am. So I mean, it's like the dude needs another in the NBA. Like say Donovan, who just completely killed it at all the workouts and stuff like that. And they figured, okay, we can kind of tweak a couple things, and the spacing in the NBA is going to benefit from him. Like, it's not a lateral move going from ACC and getting cooked by Minnesota to the NBA. And Jordan's got too many holes in his game besides his ball handling. Like he's just not ready. And besides Donovan, there's really no player here that's benefited from that new testing the waters rule.
But let me ask you this, Cody. The success of the Louisville players is going to help Jordan Nwora catapult over other players because of what Terry Rozier did, because of what Donovan did. And Donovan and Terry are going to sign off on Jordan Nwora. So the NBA guys are going to be less likely to pass on Nwora. Do you agree with that?
I can see that, but Terry and Montrez left before the testing the waters thing came out. I think Onuaku was the first Louisville player to actually try that out. But like you look at Onuaku, Dang. I mean, I know Dang came back for his sophomore year, but he shouldn't have left after his junior year. Dang, Jalen Johnson, Ray, those guys. I mean, they just made hasty, emotional decisions, and they thought they were ready when they just really weren't. And I mainly look at Onuaku. Onuaku was the prime example of if he came back for another season, you would have easily been a top 15 pick, without a doubt.
Or you would have been on a team that got banned from the tournament, Cody. I appreciate the call. I will say this. Once you started naming off names, I just threw the idea out there, Steve, by saying, I just said Terry Rozier and Donovan Mitchell and their performance in the NBA may give Jordan Nwora a crazy upper hand in just the perception of how good those Louisville dudes really are. And then when Cody started naming Ray Spalding, who's signed a 2-year deal.
Oh, yeah.
When guys start naming the Dangadell, who at the end of the year moved up, who performed. When guys start saying, who would I get that's under the radar out of Louisville that I can get a Montrezl Harrell? What pick did he go?
First couple picks in the second round.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you start doing the numbers, the numbers almost lean to the side of if Jordan was a back end first rounder, like he may get some extra, slack.
Let me play devil's advocate with this,
because that's what I'm doing in that.
Sure, sure.
I'm working that theory.
Ray Spalding showed up where in mock drafts, on list. Let's see, Montrez was showing up in the first round. All these. You get where I'm going with this. Right now, ESPN, who is the most reputable. When you're looking at mock drafts,
right?
Rank the top 100 prospects. Do you know where Jordan's ranked?
On the top 100 prospects.
I know.
The top 100 prospects.
I'm listening.
He's not. He's not ranked in there.
I was even ranked on there.
He's not in the top 100 prospects. Do you want me to name a couple names?
No, ESPN be hating on Louisville, so that's what that is.
Listen. Do you want me to name a couple names that are 77 to 100?
I'm listening. I bet it's going to be some good players, too.
Remember the Shayok kid for Iowa State that's been killing everybody in the tournament?
I don't, but.
Okay, he's 100. You know Marcus Howard? Remember who Marcus Howard is?
Who
yeah, Marcus Howard's 85th. Cassius Winston, 86. Ethan Happ from Wisconsin, 88.
These guys are small, though.
No.
Marcus Howard? Cassius Winston?
Cody Martin, 84. Kai Bowman's 83. Tilly and Norvell that you watched last night with Gonzaga running up and down the floor, smoking Florida State, 80 and 81. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, these are players. I'm naming players that right now.
And that's not hating.
But no, it's not hating. Yeah. Why would I want to hate on my own guy?
You want to hate on him
because
so come back.
If he goes okay, yeah, that's fair. But if he goes first round, is there a bigger? Max should be able to walk right into a gym this summer and say, I want you and I want you.
I came here and I took a guy who didn't even play on the field his freshman year.
Yeah,
and
make him a first rounder?
Yeah.
Please, I'll trade that. Yeah, Mac's gonna say, dude, come on, like we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna make y'all first rounders.
And I always say this when we had this conversation. So this is not directly involved in the conversation, but a big fear of mine always behind the scenes is guy who comes back with the only intentions of going to the league, who's not bought in. Yeah, talent guy that's not bought in is worse than.
Is Tyus Battle better than Jordan Nwora? Do you think?
No.
You don't think Tyus Battle's better than Jordan Nwora? Are they on par?
Yeah.
Okay. Tyus Battle's 70th. The 70th. That means he's not even projected to be picked in the draft. Like, this is what I'm saying, man.
Tyus Battle's a junior?
Yeah.
Jordan's a sophomore with no miles on him.
Yeah.
Stephen Enoch has no miles on him. I was going to say that to Cody, too. Like, Enoch has age with a lot less tread, or a lot less used tread on his tires.
Okay, what do you say? What do you say Jordan's position is in the league? Small forward. Small forward. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is some of the guys he's competing with: Cam Romeo Langford, Nasir Little, Keldon Johnson. Like these are the guys that
just the small forwards.
That are just the small forwards.
But small forward is the most valued position in the league. It's positionless basketball, Steve. Didn't you know that?
Well, then if that's the case, then I can add in the two guards. Because if it's positionless basketball, then the twos. So
that's fine.
Okay, so now with the twos, we're going R.J. Barrett, Jared Culver, Kobe White, Kevin Porter, Tyler Hero, Dort, Jerome.
Kobe White's a point guard.
Not in the league.
Yes, he is.
I don't think so.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Keep on.
Yeah. Like the list, like I said, you're looking at the 20-something ranked two guard is Jordan Poole. Like, I mean, my point is.
No, yeah, like I was making that point too. Like it starts adding up.
Yeah,
very, very,
it's like,
very
when
fast.
is your name really? Now, here's what I think he's going to find out. I think he's going to go. I think he's going to get very good advice. I think, because here's the thing. You said something important. He doesn't really have a lot of miles.
Yep.
So a junior Jordan Nwora that they go, wait a minute, in his freshman, what happened his freshman year?
Yep.
He had the
coach
situation.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, so he's technically going to be looked at as a low-mile junior in a draft that's going to be nowhere near as good. Like you said, at least it's not going to be very top-heavy.
Right.
There's not going to be four. I mean, this year, there's 15 surefire. Like, you're not getting in the lottery. You're not cracking the lottery this year.
You're not going to jump up.
And I'm not talking for Jordan. I'm saying anybody that's 20 through 30 is not coming up into the lottery.
You're not going to Donovan Mitchell your way up.
No. I mean, so next year is going to be open. Next year, I think they're going to say, you go back. Next year, Jordan, what I said about why it's big, what he's did early, and you see his name coming across here. When he comes back now, there's going to be a lot of buzz about Louisville. People are going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that kid's coming back? Okay, so now you're on a top 8 team that's selected to finish 1, 2, or 3 in the ACC. You're going to be preseason first team all ACC. You're probably going to finish first team all ACC, or you're going to finish top 3 in ACC Player of the Year. Now your name's all over the place. Your projected lottery pick or top 20 pick. I mean, like. And
you're still playing on the second weekend in the tournament.
And you're still playing next year at this time in Indianapolis.
Eric, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, guys. Steve, you basically went through what I was going to say, and that's like watching this whole season. Like, I feel like he should go and get his advice and everything else like that. But at no point in time have I ever watched Jordan Nwora and thought he was like a standout that he'd be leaving for the pros this year. Like, he's a good offensive player, but he's very you don't know what you're going to get defensively from game to game from him. Now, he's a great rebounder. He can score on his step backs one-on-one, but he doesn't have good handles to be able to get around people. There's things about his game that I think if he came back, that he could really improve. And I just don't think that the way his skill set is right now, that he could really be a viable option to at least get drafted this year. I don't know if he could get drafted because, like you said, all these people that are in front of him, I feel like are better players than Jordan.
Right.
So the eye test for me says that he's not an NBA player, but it would be good for him to go and get information and to come back and work on his ball handling, work on being able to be tough with the ball, trying to get around guys when he goes one-on-one, because he really only has that step back. That's pretty much the only thing that he does when he's one-on-one. And he's disappeared in a whole bunch of games this season. Now, granted, he also scored a bunch of points for us in a lot of games. But basically what Steve was saying, I agree with. I just don't see him as an NBA player right now. And I think it would be a bad decision for him to go instead of coming back and being on a possible championship team next year and having a lot more exposure, less people in the pool. I just think it would be much better for him to come back next season.
Eric, listen, I appreciate the call. Steve.
Yeah,
I could not help myself, Eric. And listen, I don't know if you heard me kind of giggling when you were saying that, but I want to explain my giggles, Eric. And Steve, I want you to listen to me, and I want you to act like you're going to disagree, but there's no way on the planet that you would disagree with what I'm going to say.
Well, I have an opinion on what he said too. Yeah, so
okay.
Would
you agree, listeners of 93.9, Steve Rummage? Would you agree, Steve, that right now there's a huge contingency of Duke fans right now that are saying, well, RJ Barrett really could work on his post game and Zion, I mean, listen, I mean, Zion still, he doesn't shoot free throws very well, and he could stand to go back and get another year under his belt. Right? Like what Eric was doing. Every single fan base is almost not allowed to judge on if their player is ready for the NBA. No fan base of any college program thinks their player is a surefire lottery pick.
Right.
Go back to Donovan Mitchell. Nobody thought Donovan Mitchell, after the Michigan game, was ready to go lottery in the NBA. Nobody thought Russ Smith really should go after his junior year. Like, there wasn't an outcry of, oh my God, Russ, you just gotta leave. What are you doing? You got to leave, right? Everybody always knows. There ain't no way Marcus Maben said, Jalen, look, Jalen, you're going to have to get bigger. You got to get stronger. You got to get faster. You got a lot of things to work on, son. Right?
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks their players have a ton of work to do. So we have to remember that every time we analyze if our players are ready to go.
I agree. And let me say this. One thing I want to make clear, I don't think necessarily him coming back has anything to do with, I think he can improve better here by coming back.
Right.
As much as I just think the situation next year is going to be much better.
Right. Right.
Like,
I think yes.
Yeah.
But I still say you got to work, man. You got to get in the gym.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But if it was only about his ball handling or something like that, an NBA team's going to say, well, we can work you better than they can.
Listen, Rick Pitino, if you remember, like the thing that skyrocketed Terry Rozier, what was it? What was the combine story about Terry Rozier that moved him up?
Yeah, it was the workout that he finished and kind of was like, no, I think I can do that better.
We'll say that one more time. Terry Rozier, who was back in 2-guard guy. We knew he would get drafted.
Late first round.
Yeah, he was a late first round.
But he was a late first rounder.
He became legendary because what, Steve?
Because he finished a workout and he said, no, I'll do that again. I can do that better.
Would anybody argue that Terry Rozier and his clutch shot after shot, one-on-one moves, refused to get beat was his number one trait?
Yes. It was.
That was his number one trait.
Nobody would argue that. Yeah.
Nobody would argue.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell's number one trait about his skill set was his competitiveness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not what Wara showed in the basketball season this year.
I would agree with that.
And that's the thing that if I could just go back and say, hey, Jordan, if you compete like you're ready to die for it, you know what I'm saying? Everything else will, like I said, and you're always uncomfortable with it because you know everybody wants to win, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to play well and everybody wants to play hard. But there's another level of scratch and claw and fight that Donovan and Terry were not better prospects than Jordan Wara.
Yeah.
But the way they fought is why Coach Mack said what he said when they were losing games. We'll lose with Donovan. We'll lose with Terry, taking it to the basket, not getting the call. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have many plays late game that Jordan Wara was supposed to get the call and didn't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was waiting for his comfort shots.
Yeah.
So yeah. If I was going to say, his biggest thing, I'd say, dude, you're not competing at a professional level.
Right.
Your skill set, I'd put you above 1 million people. Mm-hmm. But until you compete, that's what's going to separate you when you're in the combine, when they're really debating you or when they're really like taking a good look at you. Steve, thanks for joining us on 939. Fire away.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm going to make this real short from somebody who knows. Most of the players that left Louisville were at least consistent in their game. Jordan is inconsistent, and that's why he is going to come back. I'm almost positive he will come back. And that's all I got to say. I appreciate it, guys. It's good topic this morning. Thanks.
Appreciate it, man.
Steve, why did you look at me like that when he said this coming from somebody who knows?
I was just like, okay, he must play.
No, that's a coach.
Maybe a coach. I don't disagree with what he said, though. So he kind of gained some
Donovan
credibility.
wasn't consistent?
Yeah. No, I think he was.
His effort was.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think he was, with the effort. But, yeah.
People, we got a special guest. Actually, a good friend of Donovan Mitchell's coming up.
Well, how about that?
That's a nice little tease.
I think I may be gone. I may have to go have lunch with my son.
You did say that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, good thing I got guest scheduled.
Tell him I said hi.
College try Steve.
I'm going to have lunch with my son. I may buy a pug. Anybody's got a pug for sale, call me.
Stop it.
I need a pug.
Stop it. You can't gamble and buy pugs,
My
Steve.
wife and son want a pug. And I'm calling Adam. I need a couple of Ultra Boost.
Charity wants a pug.
She does.
She looks like she would enjoy a pug.
I know. She wants a pug. So does Elijah.
This is Men in Black.
I know. That's what we're doing. So if anybody's got pugs for sale, call me.
You better hope Kentucky wins, man.
Text me. I know.
Then you can afford your own pug.
Let's roll.
Middays with Marcus Maven, 8150-939 is always the number. 3831-939 is always the text line. We Are Made for the Ville is the YouTube channel, 939 The Ville.
As number 1 seed Gonzaga beat number 4 seed Florida State 72-58, and number 3 seed Texas Tech beat number 2 seed Michigan 63-44. And last but certainly not least, I want to wish my very great mother a happy 70th birthday today. Thanks for all you do, and I hope you have a great day. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
Is your bedroom, sunroom, or room over the garage too hot in the summer, maybe too cold in the winter? BJ Heating and Cooling, your local factory authorized Bryant dealer, has teamed up with Bryant ductless equipment, whatever it takes to make that room enjoyable again. Bryant mini splits are quiet, efficient, and avoid the installation of bulky ductwork. Give BJ Heating and Cooling a call today to schedule your free estimate and get 0% financing for 3 years with approved credit. Call the experts you can trust at BJ Heating and Cooling.
This is Marcus Maben, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
You're listening to Middays with Marcus Maben, broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. People, one of my best parts, or one of my favorite parts of the show. One of the perks of the show is something like this. Beer Nose Pizza, thanks to George and the Beer Nose by the Bridge team for dropping off some pizza to ESPN Louisville Studios. Purdue, Virginia fans in town, be sure to try some Louisville-style pizza. Elite 8 game Saturday. Kenny Chesney next Thursday. Yeah, it's that good. Beer Nose Pizza. Ooh, that's a good thought. It's Friday, too. Like, nobody feels like cooking. Pizza places and delivery guys are perfect. Yeah, you can go ahead and make that call right there. Here's the part. Okay, the pizza advertisement is always the fun part, but this part is not so fun. And if I wasn't such a company man or a team player, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't do it. But since I am, I will. The NCAA tournament continues. ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for live play-by-play upcoming coverage. Today, 6 p.m., the Ville will pick up after U of L baseball. Saturday, 5 p.m. on all Louisville stations. People, I can't read that. Ugh. Exclusive live play-by-play of the NCAA tournament is presented by Mattress & More, Right Implement, Dave & Buster's, UPS Jobs, FFL Home, and Miller Lite. People,
Robbie's ready.
You don't know how difficult that is for me to continuously read those Sweet 16 plugs, especially when you're hosting. Not that my team will ever be hosting Sweet 16s and they'll actually be here, but you get the point. I'd rather be somewhere out of town with my team playing, sitting in a team hotel, wasting a lot of money. Now I'm going to give you something good. Now I'm going to give you something special. Robbie Valentine, thanks for joining us. A day one guest. Thank you for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9. How's it going, my man?
Man, I'm talking to a hero, man. Marcus Maben. That's what I'm doing.
Stop it. But listen, Robbie, here's the problem. I'm setting up, a show, and here's the thing. I'll just be honest with you. I know you have particular things to talk about, but I didn't know if I needed to talk about the championship or top two, the championship ring-wearing Robbie Valentine or the Yum Center guru Robbie Valentine. Can I talk to both of those guys today?
Yeah, I'm actually three people today. I'm tired as hell. So.
No, listen, I did hear earlier you had a full night, but it's one of those good tired. As long as you didn't have any catastrophes happen last night. If the worst thing was you got to your bed late, then that was a good night.
It was a good night. It was a good night.
Oh, okay. Well, Robbie, I wanted to do this in particular before we got to the business conversation. Okay, you've been enjoying basketball, just generally watching. Have you been able to just watch and digest some good basketball?
Well, actually, the Purdue Tennessee game was interesting, but being able to finally for the first time just sit down for 5 minutes and watch a little bit of it. I'm gonna tell you, man, March is so different than regular season. These kids, they're playing for a ring, Marcus, and
they look like it too.
Yeah, and they're so humble. But when those bright lights come on when you're in the NCAA tournament, it's nothing like it. You know, you played it, and to see these kids before a game. But this is my highlight yesterday. I'm at work and I hear this guy keep going, Valentine, and then I look down. It's Kenny Walker, man. You know, Kenny and I go back a long way, man, and just have him in my arena and go down and chat with him, and then I'll be daggone. Not 20 minutes later, tap on my shoulder. There's Allen Houston, you know, and so. You know, Allen's our Louisville boy.
Right.
So there's Allen and Wade. He came in town to go speak to Tennessee, you know, before the game. And of course, you know, that was great to have him in our arena. That's the second time he's ever been there. And then last but not least, Virginia, somebody taps me on my shoulder again. Valentine, it's 7'4" Ralph Sampson. So it's like, it was a good night seeing those guys, and then had a chance to speak to Pat Riley. So when you talk to these guys and then just the athletic ability of these kids today, it's second to none. I mean, these guys they're almost born with the physical aspects of the game that we had to, you know, stay in the locker room for hours out of a day. It's just amazing the build these kids have.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, when you mention a Pat Riley, just to rehash, yesterday I made the point, kind of what you just made. It's a great feeling when you know great guys who have went on to do great things in the sport of basketball, and you can just reach back and like I said, one of the best feelings is when a guy that you all know as a star says, "What's up, Maben?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, right. Like that helps me sleep well at night because I know I'm just a respected guy. But speaking of coaching, now I'm not going to put you directly in the coaching category, but when you run as many camps as you have for years, you can call yourself Coach Valentine. Now, there's been a little conversation as of late. I don't know if you saw the Tom Izzo kind of sideline thing where a big debate over, you know, are you allowed to push the kids? I particularly wanted to know your opinion because, listen, you're a camp that you run camps that demand fun, but you are also not a guy who is afraid to say kids need to be pushed. Kids need to be structured and they need to be pushed. Where do you fall as far as coaching harsh and what the public conversation has been about, you know, kind of, you know, coaching styles?
I think you separate that four ways. One, your coaching style as a father to these kids. Secondly, your coaching style in the locker room is different. Your coaching style in practice is different. Your practice style in a game situation on national TV can't be the same in practice and in the locker room. I think that's where you can break them all down. For me, you know, you can get on a kid, but I think your hand gestures, that's what got Bobby Knight in trouble before there was social media.
Right.
And so now it is social media, and people look at it now. Almost everything is kind of talked about. Everything you do as a coach, a father. You know, as a father today, how hard can you spank your kid if you do? So it's like, but Coach Izzo, for me, I thought it was something that maybe some of that could have taken place in the locker room.
Right.
But I just think just to keep it going and going and going, I don't know what the kid did to get that much anger, emotion out of him. And so for me, a coach can do anything they want to do to me in the locker room, but when it's on the floor, you know, I don't want to be demeaned when I go to class with my friends.
Right.
And, you know, so I thought that he could have stopped at the time, maybe not because of his emotion, but at the same time, I think as a coach and a mentor, you got to be consistent with all kids on the floor versus one or two kids because of just the look of it. And that's just my personal view. People can say whatever they want to say, but for me, I'm going to treat all the kids the same way I'm going to treat my three boys and my daughter on and off the floor. And I'm an emotional coach, I'm an emotional dad, I'm an emotional camp mentor, But I think today we just have to be real careful because kids are different today, Marcus, than when we were kids.
Right.
Kids today, they're not going to try and listen to someone yell and scream at them or embarrass them. It's not going to happen. It's not going to go down like that. You want to meet 1 out of 10 that will go with it, with the rest of them, they'll shut down. And the majority of inner city kids that don't have a dad, a lot of times mom has done that. So they respect that. But there are some kids that just don't, they shut down after they get hit like that from a physical mouth perspective.
Right.
And I like Coach Izzo. I think he's a great coach because I think we need emotion. But at the same time, I think that there needs to be a degree of maybe I should slow down and, you know, if I'm going to jump on them, there's just players and coaches in the locker room. That's a good time to do it because all of them are getting it.
Right.
And that's just my thought. That's my personal thought. You asked me as a mentor and as a coach.
Yes, no. I'm glad you elaborated on it as a question I had to ask. You know, like I said, me being I answer that question more generational specific. I don't have a problem with it, but I understand in a new time and age, you know, people who do have, you know, more of a problem with it than I would have. But like I said, I appreciate you answering that one. Okay, so now let's get to down to business. You have your hands into many roles and routines. What do we got going on locally? I was just reading an article about how much revenue is tournament and basketball action has brought to the city. How are you helping that push to bring not just revenue but bring people together out in the city?
Well, Marcus, repeat that last part again. Somebody.
No, I was just saying, how are you helping the city to take what the basketball tournament is and get people involved?
Well, I think the big thing is for us, all the former players, including you, you know, going out and watching, have a game watching party and inviting all fans, UK, Louisville, everybody, come support Kentucky tonight at Dave & Buster's. But our biggest thing is we want to keep our face out.
Oh no.
I mean,
okay, there you are.
Louisville, Denny Crum, the community, believe it or not, Jerry Adenson, I think he was a mayor for 34 years, the whole time that all was at Louisville. But everybody came together to make us all successful. Mm. And when you become successful, what you do is you continue to have your face out there in the community, let young people know that, you know, when you become 55 and a grandfather, or become 35 and a father, or a single man or a married person, you continue to do good things with your name and your ability to let people know that this could be you one day. And that's what we do every day. Jerry Eves, you, myself, Milt, Wiley, everybody. We out there doing this. And I don't think the kids today have this foresight of some of the focus that we focus on in terms of community.
Right.
I just don't think they have that mindset yet because I think they're immature when it comes to that. Networking is the best thing that a student athlete can ever do. Day one they walk on campus. Day one.
No. Listen. Every time the conversation comes up about paying student athletes, I can relate, but I can say if you take advantage of the networking, it is far more valuable than any financial amount they can pay a student athlete.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. The people that I've met at age 17, 18, when I met them at Yearville campus, at age 55, Shelbyville Road, St. Matthews Mall. They got a TV of every game. You've got women, Kentucky, Duke, and then all of us players, we sit in the center. We want everybody to come up and talk to us. Let's have some fun. Let's argue a little bit. And, let's enjoy this weekend. It's March Madness, man. And we want to just let everybody know where we're going to be. And we hope everybody comes out and wants to come and chat. And several guys is going to be with us. They do summer camps. And we'll talk a little bit about that with, friends and fans. And let's have a great weekend. And people going to kill me for saying this, but it's our only local team in the conference. Go Cats, baby.
Listen, I appreciate the call. I told you a +1, but it might be +8 by the time. Brian, you going to let him get past with that one?
Go Cats.
Listen, you heard what he said, man. Robbie Valentine is a community activist now. He plays he plays by different rules. That's Robbie Valentine. When you wear rings with championships on them, you allowed to cheer for whoever you want to cheer for, and I can't say nothing about it because I got to sit around in the studio and in the radio ringless and say, well, I don't like that team, and they don't like that team. And everybody that got rings don't care about my opinion when you talk about rivalry talk. What we'll do, we'll reset the show. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
Genesis Diamonds is cutting prices right now, getting ready for next weekend's spring extravaganza.
At Scorns and Sons Collision Centers. There are 2 locations, Bardstown Road and Shelbyville Road in Middletown. Or call us at 491-BODY or visit us at etscorns.com. That's ETSCORNS.com.
UPS is now hiring for package handlers in Louisville. Package handlers earn competitive wages. Thinking about college, but worried about how you'll pay for your tuition? With UPS's Metropolitan College program, UPSers who meet program guidelines can graduate 100% debt-free, work part-time, go to school, and graduate debt-free. It's that simple. Why pay for school? Let UPS do the heavy lifting. Apply now at upsjobs.com. That's upsjobs.com.
The Troll Pub Under the Bridge and ESPN Louisville are ready for the madness. The South Regional is coming to the KFC Yum Center on March 28th and 30th, and your spot before and after all the games is the Troll Pub's Fan Fest on Washington Street at Whiskey Road, right next to the KFC Yum Center. The family-friendly block party will have covered tents, live DJs, food, and beer. Don't miss any of the action at the Troll Pub and ESPN Louisville Fan Fest, presented by Heaven Hill, Red Bull, and Miller Lite.
Guys, it's time to shake off that winter rust and get outside for a round at Wooded View Golf Course and Driving Range in Clarksville, Indiana. Located minutes from downtown Louisville and just off I-65, Wooded View is convenient and affordable. Save even more right now with our new midday and twilight specials. You won't find a better value anywhere else. Schedule your tee time online today at woodedviewgc.com. Again, that's woodedviewgc.com.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you are ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Brian, how long does it take to take Steve Rummage off there when he's not here? He doesn't get the "we want Steve," and he doesn't get the Marcus Maben Steve Rummage here when he cuts out for half a show.
I could do it. We could either edit it on the fly, or we can. I don't know. We can do something.
We need to have.
I just usually like to shame him from not being.
That's a good point. We need to have one on call, because I hear that and I feel guilty about it every time. I feel guilty for the listeners who says, "Well, Steve Rummage just says he's here, but he's not here." People, how many innings does your air conditioning system have left in it? Be careful, people, because it is getting warmer. You're about to find out with spring upon us. So what do we do here at the station? If there's a problem, call DFH Company. They're fast, they're good, and they're reliable. And if you need to go to the bullpen for a new system, it's hard to stop a train, so call DFH 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval. Women play tonight. Texter, I agree. I love that beat. I have to stop myself from dancing every time it comes on. I actually try to tell Brian Hall to keep it rolling, but sometimes we actually have to continue on with a show.
That's our man, Derek Stewart. He's one of our guest producers.
Well, that beat, you actually do it. I'm taking heat for the Robbie Valentine
The Go Cats, yeah.
You can't do that on here, Robbie. But Robbie, yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. Robbie's is going to be the governor.
You having mixed feelings right now? It sounds like you're battling yourself. In your head.
No. Listen, here's the thing.
Robbie, you can do whatever you want. How did you do that? Why did you do that? Robbie?
I think he can do whatever he wants, but I don't want him. I don't want his people to revolt against him with yelling that out on 93.9 The Ville. But with that being said, I promised that I would go back to the women's game. The women's game is tonight. What time, Brian? Give out that starting time. Oregon State. Are you nervous? What's the pulse? What is the temperature? Because I have to admit this, people. Louisville fan base is going to have to accept that we are spoiled, right? Like, we don't have to talk about it, but we're going to be watching it as soon as it comes. Right or wrong, Brian?
Correct. We will be watching it. It's at 9:30 tonight.
9:30 tonight. And listen, yes, everybody will peek at the bottom line and see what's going on with your rival men's team, but everybody's going to be there at 9:30 waiting to cheer on our women. Like that's a good gift to have at 9:30 on a Friday night to have the game going. And I just got I got to admit it. I'm spoiled. I expect them to win. I expect them to get ready to play UConn. You know, it's like, I'm sorry. I'm guilty of.
That's on ESPN as well.
On ESPN. I'm guilty of expectations. It's like, listen, and here's the thing. It's not just the women's team. Dan McDonnell has to go through the exact same thing, people. Former soccer coach Ken Lola had to go through the exact same thing. People expect him to be in the Sweet 16, but when they get to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, now you got our attention. Now Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium is packed, even in the freezing weather. People are guilty of having high expectations to sports, and you say, okay, listen, even Virginia fans who have never had success, you know what they said? Oh, I'll just wait. We'll wait till Saturday to go down there. Tennessee fans. Knoxville is right up the road. Listen, it is the smoothest drive between Knoxville and Louisville. Trust me, I've made that trek over a 4-year period a whole lot of times. It's a beautiful road, but everybody in Knoxville said, you know what? We got a good team, and I'll just wait and catch them in the Elite 8 game. Now, unfortunately, it didn't work out like the way they wanted, but again, I defend people who are getting their heads bit off for not seeming to be as into the games, the high expectation games of the women's team, as we would all like to. With that being said, let me get to some of the text on the YouTube channel that I promised I would go to. I didn't know if I was going to go backwards to forward to backwards. It's about 100 on them. Okay, we got if Wall stays, then Tennessee loses. In Louisville twice. Wait a minute, Chris. Let me read that again. If Wall stays, then Tennessee loses in Louisville twice. Ah, I get it. That is a fact. I had to reread that. It was kind of caught me off guard. Conversation on tonight's game. Yeah, listen, I'm going to be excited. I can't wait for the game. I'm going to eat early. I have plenty of cashews and pineapples because I decided to start to cancel my late night meal, and I can already fit my clothes a little better, and my face is starting to shrink a little bit because y'all know me. I was a total late night eater. Brian, you know what I did last night? Speaking of late night, this is what I did, Brian.
Spaghetti and whatever that is stuff you mix it with.
Bread?
No, you do something crazy.
My greens.
No.
Yeah, with me, it was either
when we did your favorite food trivia.
Yeah, we were talking about spaghetti, and I was talking about putting on a piece of bread, like a sandwich. Though. See, well, a lot of people didn't think so. A lot of people were grossed out by that. But here's what happens, Brian. I promised myself that I would stop doing the 12 o'clock eating, and you know what I'm saying, because again, a late night cocktail, and if you got spaghetti available, like that's a recipe to look a little round in the face. And golly, I've done a good job of looking pretty young, but boy, those late night, those
good, Marcus. Don't worry about it.
Those late night cocktails and spaghetti were catching up to me. But here's the thing: now I have to remain occupied And here's the thing, I got a ton of energy late at night now because I'm not like stuffing my face with food. I'm just snacking on all this healthy stuff and my energy's going up. So you know what I did last night, Brian?
Apples and peanut butter. There's a good route.
Haven't had that
It's
in
a good
while.
snack.
Here's what I did, Brian. To avoid eating at night, last night's objective was to work on my OBS, work on the YouTube channel, right? You know what project number 2 was?
Clean the house, do laundry.
Reattach the legs to my furniture.
Why were they off in the first place?
Not reattach, but here's the thing. I have a chair and an ottoman. It's a single chair and it has an ottoman. It's like a reading chair, right? I love this chair. But with me, my place is pretty empty. You know, I'm a minimalist. But I move this chair around all the time. Sometimes it's in the living room. Sometimes it's kind of in the dining room.
Got to change things up every now and then.
Listen, sometimes the ottoman makes it to the foot of my bed in the room. You know, it moves around the place, right? But the legs were getting wobbly and it was irritating me. But here's the thing. When I put the legs on, when I first got the chair, right, I didn't remember that it's screwed in with an Allen wrench. So I thought I nailed the legs in, because you know a lot of those do-it-yourself, it's kind of like a nail or a pin. And once it loosened up, I thought I was done, right? Like I'm gonna have to get rid of my chair, or it's gonna break on me one day. And, you know, yeah, that chair breaking, right?
Right.
So here's the thing, I ended up, you know, finding my right fitting Allen wrench and retightening my ottoman legs and my single chair legs.
So now they're solid?
Now they are so solid.
I thought you were going to say you took them off.
No. I was just like, every single one of them was loose. And you ever had like that table that has the wobbly leg or something? And when you finally get it fixed, you almost want to just like shake your table and just, yes, you know, just I've been waiting on this for so long. I'm so glad I got that fixed.
I agree. And then you get to the point where you only break one of the legs and you got 3 of the 4. And so then you decide, all right, do I go buy a replacement leg or do I take the other 3 out and just sit it on the ground?
Yeah, listen, I almost went and got new, like I was going to go to Lowe's and get new like screw-in posts, you know, to replace it. Because, you know, I got long legs, so finding good furniture for me is kind of hard to do, and you know, just good furniture for my personal taste is difficult.
I agree with the chair though. Everybody listening right now probably has their one chair at home. They're like, yeah, that's my chair.
But
that's
it needs
what
to
I
be
watch
fixed.
all my games in. That's what I watch all TV in. Whatever.
But it needs to be fixed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's stuff wears down. And I'm just,
oh yeah, but the wear and tear almost actually makes it better. Sometimes you go to somebody's family room, and I've had this happen a lot. You go to somebody's family room and all the furniture is really nice and it matches, and then there's this one like oddball chair and they're like, yeah, no, that's old Lacey. She's been here the whole time, man. She's super comfortable. I'm not getting rid of her.
I know. I mean, listen, I just gave my chair and my ottoman like 5 more years of life, knowing that I could fix it. It's good leather, very well made. It's a very expensive chair.
You got 5 more with legs, and then we'll remove the legs, and then you'll get another 5 out.
You know what I thought too, just to, while I'm sitting here talking about my personal struggles, Bozak Smith,
awesome dude,
owns a furniture, office furniture, home furniture repair and selling business. You know, like he just does office furniture, home furniture. He installed my TVs at the house, or my TV, you know, in my living room, hung it up on the wall. I thought he was the one who was there when I was taking care of my furniture too, right? So when it got loose, I was just like, man, if my furniture's getting loose, it must be something I did.
Call Bozak.
No, because listen, I've had Bozak's work is impeccable, right? You know what I'm saying? And you know what Bozak did? He's one of those guys too. He's way too quick-witted for you, right? So he's the guy that when you're looking at him do his work, right? He'll say something like, damn, where did that screw come from? And you like, oh, damn.
He already knows the answer. He's just messing with you.
Right. So yeah, so I'm looking at him and he's like, hey, Marcus, you see where this screw go? And dead serious, you know what I'm saying? So my point being, I knew there was nothing I could do to fix my furniture because Bozak took care of it. By the way, people, you can reach out. I think he has a site on Facebook. Go Bozak Smith.
It's good to know. Always because he's in here every now and then. I wonder what he was up to.
Yeah, no. He's had his furniture business for the longest, and I say, oh, come on in, run a commercial, like do something, man. No, I appreciate it, man. I'll just keep on.
Business is good.
Yeah, and it could be better. Golly. Anyway, point
I'll
being,
be getting a house soon, new house soon, so I might be in touch with you, Bo.
Listen, house furniture, office repair. He can help you get your needs. That's a personal shout out to Bo Zach Smith. Texter says, what do we have to do to get a Marcus Maben women's pregame show? First of all, you have to talk to ESPN Louisville, because Marcus Maben pregame shows. Do you know how much people Miller Lite pays?
I'm thinking a Final Four and a championship, though, might be worthy.
I could do that, but here's the problem.
Got to beat UConn first.
But there's one huge problem.
Yeah, you got to beat UConn first.
Even a bigger problem.
That's a pretty big problem.
Bigger.
Okay.
MarquisMayben. It's not how you spell my name. Marquise Maben.
Oh, I get the MARCUS all the time.
No. Listen, you can't say you want more of me and not spell my name right. Ouch.
Yeah.
Let me get back to the start the conversation. What will it take? Will it be guards? Okay. I like this question. What will it take for the ladies to win tonight? Will it be the guards or the bigs? It's definitely going to be the bigs. In women's basketball, the bigs make all the difference in the world.
Oregon State's got a couple of bigs.
Yeah, right.
Too.
Right. No, listen. It will be an inside thing. I mean, like I said, my focus is always on Sam Fury. But, it's listen, you can, there are plenty of good guards. If it's all about guards, that's why I get so angry, because Maisha Hines-Allen was the perfect power forward in women's college basketball for this team. And that was our opportunity for a national championship. Not saying we don't have a huge opportunity to win a national championship with this team, but when Maisha Hines-Allen was playing aggressive, it was like, can be an unbeatable team. Like you got it. You got the perfect competition level. There's so many things that go into a good championship run, and I just think you had a more built for championship team last year than you did this year. So that one like
real quick, when they ask, is it going to be the bigs or the guards? Is it weird that I feel when we're talking about women's basketball that I don't want to refer to them as bigs. I want to say, oh, you mean the forwards and the centers.
That's fair.
But I'm perfectly okay with being like, yeah, that big dude for the men's team.
Yeah, I'm not that sensitive.
I hear
Listen, yeah, I'm sure Kylie Shook doesn't mind being big.
Yeah, I mean, they understand what we're talking about. I just mean it's kind of weird calling a woman like, yeah, the bigs. They got some big women down there.
I get that one. Side note, if we can keep Walls, pick up Jordan. Decommits from Tennessee. McDonald's All-Americans. Diop gets another year eligibility, which I think will happen. Ball handling with better shot selection, balance, leaning forward on drives to the basket, falling forward. I believe it can be fixed. I believe that was in reference to Jordan Wara. Let's keep going. If Jordan goes and gets advice, hones in like Donovan, when he comes back, he'll be straight. Here's what I have to say about Jordan Wara and the method he went about putting his name out there. I agree that he picked the perfect time. I agree with Steve when he says it's an awesome statement of saying, I'm going to go there, I'm going to get some advice, and it's dependent. I agree that Coach Mack made the perfect statement for us. And when I say us, I mean Louisville fans. Jordan did it perfectly. Coach Mack did it perfectly. The timing was perfect. But, in my opinion, there's one big mistake. Now, he can't change this way of going about it. But here's the thing, Brian. You tell me if you agree with this. And this is for future. Listen, for all your parents that are going to have children putting their names in drafts in the future, because I see you out there, you're working hard, and your kid's going to be drafted too. So here's the thing. If you're Jordan Wara and I'm giving advice as like an agent that's not really giving advice, I'm going to tell him, listen, go to Coach Mack and tell him that it's about getting feedback, right? But when you go public, Jordan, You have to tell these teams, you have to approach these teams like, I'm coming to the NBA. I'm not going back to school. I'm here in the NBA to make the NBA. Because here's the problem.
Kind of worded it good for both, though.
See, I disagree. I think he worded it well for us, for Louisville fans, for the coaching staff. But as far as the NBA, I don't think he worded it well, because here's the thing. It's just like any other job interview process, right? If you go and you say, well, I'm taking this interview, but if you don't offer me, really what I need, then I'll go back. But here's the thing. But I'm gonna come back and try to get the job in a year anyway. So if I don't get what I want now, I'll be back in a year. They're gonna say, well, okay, well, I'll see you in a year, right? NBA teams will, in my opinion, NBA GM scouts, if you come in there with the pussyfooting around and saying, hey, well, I think that, hey, if you tell me I'm ready, then I'll come to the league. But if you tell me I need to go work on this and this and that, I'll go back to school. And I think the way he presented it was like, because if you're an NBA guy, you need to put the pressure on them. If you don't take me, the next person's going to take me, and I'm going to be Donovan Mitchell next year, and you're going to regret not taking me. Like, come with that attitude. But if you come with the attitude of saying, if you tell me I'm not ready, then I'm going to go back to school. They're always going to send you back to school, and they're going to look at the next 18-year-old and say, why don't we pick up this 18-year-old at 21 and just keep on scouting out Jordan Nwora? And then we can get him next year at 31 or 33. You know what I'm saying? Like, You're not giving the team urgency when you act like you have 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Well, I think that's what exactly what you meant there, is that he doesn't have, an agent to tell him what to do NBA-wise. His information is coming from advisors at the college level, which want him to come back. It's one of those things where I think it's a new era in college basketball, and it's tough for fan bases to get used to this, because the first thing that you hear when Jordan Nwora is, I'm declaring for the NBA draft, is, we're used to what it was 5 years ago. That guy's gone, and it's not, he can come back. And so now I think this is going to become a more common trend. You want 3 or 4 guys to go test the waters every year.
You better have 3 or 4 guys.
Because that means you're having a good team. But at the same time, I think Jordan went into this with full intention of coming back. I think his father, being a coach, the national coach of Nigeria, has given him advice, say, hey, go get the feedback, come back, let's work on what you got to do and go on. The one thing that scares you, though, as a Louisville fan is, we've always heard about how good of a practice player Jordan Nwora is, and how last year, why is he not playing more? Apparently he dominates practice, and then it was the first person we heard about when Matt got here. This Jordan Nwora guy is great. Yeah, offensively. And you wonder if he goes there and impresses, if some scouts start getting in his head and saying, hey, you could be a big-time scorer.
Put the NBA teams in any kind of situation or under any pressure whatsoever. Like that's a fact. Yeah. Steve shouldn't have left early.
Hey, we won the bet.
Rubbage is missing out, people. Trust me. Okay, a couple more before I get out of here. I'm kind of going through the people want to know about PJ Washington. I have no inside information there. Do you think Samuel Williamson and Nwora you think they're going to have any kind of playing time beef at all?
No, I think that honestly, I think they'll play them together. I think because the 2-guard spot is so open right now. I think that Samuel Williamson is a clear-cut favorite to come in there and win that spot, and it's not going to take Jordan's spot at the 3 at all. Because honestly, we were a little bit weak on the or depth-wise on the wing. And so it's just gonna give us a guaranteed starter and a little more depth.
Chris Curry, I wanted Marcus's pro UT take on an obvious foot out of bounds 3-point foul on Carson Edwards that forced overtime. I know it's a Ville show, but I was at the Young. I don't think he stepped out of bounds. I think he kept his feet elevated. I think it was a horrible, horrible call. But if I'm the coach, I'm yelling because he was that close. But there's nothing you can do. Like, coach, I would spend the rest of my life thinking I should have challenged that shot better if that 3-pointer goes in. Right? You don't make that call with 1.5 seconds to go. And it's not like you would have to stick out your leg and get crashed into to get that call. But again, and we do this every time, and we do it with our team. And you know, at the end of the day, Brian, I always tell my players, quit complaining. How many free throws did y'all miss? Tennessee, you didn't come with it. Like, no. You just didn't come with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I find
they got worn out after coming back from 18.
Yeah, they just didn't have it. They just didn't have it from the beginning. Like you let Purdue control the pace, the tempo. You let them force you into jump shots the entire time. You know, when you have to get down by 20 points to start taking the ball to the basket, Virginia did the same thing. UT did the same thing. Like, the teams that relied on jump shots in tournament basketball are out here looking pathetic, just like we did, and just like I'll complain to the death of me. If you don't have guys that go to the basket searching for and ones, you're never, ever going to win. If you can't draw fouls, you can't win. You can't out athletic everybody. You have to be able to draw fouls. You got to be able to keep people on the ground. This is a fact, and the quicker people realize it. Let me actually do this one last question. I was gonna ask Robbie when he was on here, but he threw me off with his. No, I'm just kidding.
It's all right. I'll just answer.
I was gonna ask him this. You're watching this tournament, right? Does it bother you that, like, you've watched our team this year and you looked at how intense everybody's playing, and because I gotta admit, I'm watching this game and I'm like, Coach, when this tournament's over, you're gonna have to get back in the gym with these kids, right? And you're gonna have to be an animal, because the intensity that I see out here in tournament basketball, if I want to be here next year, like, I gotta ratchet up my intensity of this Louisville team by like 300%.
So I had the pleasure of going to the game last night, or the games last night. I sat behind the basket for the first game, and then the second game we actually
went to the games and you didn't tell me?
Yeah, I was about 10 rows behind the Oregon bench.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was great seats. They were great seats. Anyways, what I was going to say was I really enjoyed going out there. I honestly debated on whether I was going to go or not, just based off the fact that, you know, I'm kind of over the fact that Louisville's out, and I'm kind of frustrated that they're not there.
It didn't look like the upset on the floor.
We've seen them play and all that. But anyways, I get out there, and a tournament atmosphere is so cool because there's the 4 different fan bases. The place is packed. I got into it, started it was a cool experience. But like you said, you sit here and watch these teams, and you see the fan bases and the excitement, and you think, like, you know, I actually made the comment that some people were really drunk, and, you know, it had been partying all day. And I was kind of like, you know, being the sober person, like, golly, these people are annoying. But then I was like, you know what? That was me in Atlanta.
Right.
That was me in New Orleans.
Right.
That was me in Indianapolis.
Right.
And I was like, this is a vacation for these people. These people, and I remembered and reminisced on my Sweet 16 trips and my Final Four trips, and I was like, you know what, this is cool. And I was like, this is a really cool experience. And it was the game I was going to be watching anyway, so I might as well just watch it live.
And see, I was just talking about on the court. Like,
the intensity on the court was very noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean, just the energy that they brought, the 110% all the time. You saw it in flashes with Louisville, and that's what was frustrating, but, you know, more consistency.
Yeah, I watched that, and I'm like, Coach, I feel sorry for you. Because you're gonna have to go crazy on these kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I heard the Robbie Valentine response. I am one who sided more towards Izzo. Like, I am not, because here's the thing: the toughest mentality kids, you know, out there in the tournament, they've been pushed harder. The guys that have been pushed the hardest are the guys that are still winning, in my opinion.
I agree with that, but I also think that.
Yeah, of course.
Due to some early success in our season, we thought we had more talent than we did. And that, you know, I feel like at times we were still giving 100. I mean, we were still team chemistry seemed good on the team.
Yeah, but I'm yelling at kids. I yell at kids. I yell at kids. What are you doing? You know what? I never yell.
Yeah, I'm going to save that. I yell at kids.
I say that.
I yell at kids.
I say that, and if you ask Jalen, he'll probably be like, oh, he yelled at me twice. I probably yelled at him twice his entire life. And I'm sitting here advocating for every coach to scream at their kids.
Is it a product of what happened to you, Marcus?
My dad yelled
at a lot.
He yelled at me 2-3 times.
I don't mean your dad. I'm talking about your coaches.
Are you kidding me?
To get motivation.
What is Coach Crum? Have you ever heard him even yell? Maybe once.
I don't know. I don't know if I've heard them.
See,
yell
I don't know why I'd have no problem with yelling because nobody yelled at me.
I feel like it'd be kind of high pitch.
Yeah, my mom yelled at me, I think.
It happens.
She was
just called childhood.
Yeah, my mom. I was probably doing something stupid. But nobody really yelled a lot.
Got to discipline the kids, man. You got to teach them lessons.
Maybe we just got beat down earlier. We're just like, that's the authority in here.
She's proving a point.
That's a fact, people. Bill Etzkorns and Sons Collision Center is always awesome. Jill Blessinger, Becky Bleemel. It's springtime, people. You are house shopping. You will know those names. I will force you to know those names. You will call those names. You will acknowledge those names. Jill Blessinger, Keller Williams, Becky Bleemel, Caliber Home Loans. Windows Plus. Check the tax laws when you get these new windows. I think you can get some breaks.
Hey, my mom doesn't yell. She's a saint. Happy 70th birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mama Brian Hall. Middays with Marcus Maven. As always, 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are made for the Ville. If you saw it today, it looks awesome, doesn't it? I know it does. And it's going to look so much better. We'll have our special thanks pages. We'll have multiple pages. We're going to start putting video highlights during the show. And yes, Texter, we're going to get a ticker to talk about the subjects. Midday with Marcus Maven. As always, 10 to 12 on 93.9 The